Article 334.10(3) of the National Electrical Code, or NEC, addresses the permitted uses of non-metallic sheet cable, NM, and service entrance cable, C. Specifically, it outlines where these types of cables can and cannot be installed. A critical aspect of this section is the prohibition of using NM or SE cable exposed in commercial occupancies. This means that in a commercial building setting, these cables are not allowed to be run in a manner where they are directly visible and accessible without any form of protection. Article 338.10 pertains to the installation requirements of SE cable when used as a feeder. The reference to Article 334 indicates that when SE cable is employed as a feeder, it must comply with the applicable provisions outlined in Article 334. This connection ensures that the installation of SE cable as a feeder adheres to the general requirements and limitations specified for cable installations. The interaction between these code provisions becomes significant when considering the permissibility of using SE cable as exposed feeders in commercial buildings. While Article 338.10 allows the use of SE cable as a feeder under certain conditions, it is crucial to acknowledge the restriction imposed by Article 334.10(3). This latter section explicitly prohibits the use of SE cable exposed in commercial occupancies. Therefore, even though SE cable may be suitable for use as a feeder, its installation must not violate the prohibition against exposed use in commercial buildings. To elaborate further, firstly, it is important to understand the definition of exposed in the context of electrical installations. Exposed refers to a cable or wiring method that is accessible and visible without requiring the removal of any building structure or finish. This means that if a cable is run along the surface of a wall, ceiling, or floor in a commercial building, it is considered exposed. Secondly, the NEC distinguishes between different types of occupancies, including residential, commercial, and industrial. Each type of occupancy has specific requirements for electrical installations, reflecting the unique hazards and usage patterns associated with each setting. The restrictions on exposed NM and SE cable in commercial occupancies are based on factors such as the potential for physical damage, increased fire risk, and the presence of a high density of occupants. Thirdly, the prohibition of exposed NM and SE cable in commercial buildings does not necessarily preclude their use altogether. These cables may still be permitted if they are installed in a raceway, such as conduit or tubing, which provides physical protection and conceals the wiring. Additionally, they may be allowed in concealed locations, such as within walls or above ceilings, where they are not readily accessible or visible. In summary, the NEC prohibition of exposed NM and SE cable in commercial occupancies is a critical safety measure that aims to reduce the risk of electrical hazards. While SE cable may be suitable for use as a feeder under certain conditions, its installation must comply with all applicable code provisions, including the restriction against exposed use in commercial buildings. The code ensures that electrical installations are designed and installed in a manner that minimizes the risk of electrical shock, fire, and other hazards. It is important for electrical professionals to stay up to date with the latest edition of the NEC and to seek clarification from the authority having jurisdiction, or OJ, when interpreting code requirements. By following these guidelines, electrical professionals can help to ensure the safety and reliability of electrical systems in all types of buildings. The NEC serves as a comprehensive set of guidelines and regulations governing electrical installations in the United States. Its primary goal is to safeguard people and property from electrical hazards. It is developed and updated regularly by the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA, with input from a wide range of stakeholders, including electrical engineers, contractors, inspectors, and manufacturers. Understanding the nuances of the NEC is essential for electrical professionals to ensure that their work complies with safety standards and regulations. The code covers a wide range of topics, including wiring methods, overcurrent protection, grounding, and equipment installation. It also addresses specific requirements for different types of occupancies, such as residential, commercial, and industrial buildings. Article 334 specifically addresses non-metallic sheath cable, commonly known as NM cable or Romex. This type of cable is widely used in residential wiring due to its ease of installation and relatively low cost. However, the NEC imposes certain restrictions on its use in commercial buildings, particularly regarding exposed installations. Article 338 focuses on service entrance cable, or SE cable, which is used to connect the utility service to the building's electrical system. SE cable is typically larger in size than NM cable and is designed to carry higher currents. It is available in both copper and aluminum conductors and may have a variety of insulation and jacketing materials. When SE cable is used as a feeder, which is a circuit that supplies power from the service entrance to a distribution panel or other load center, it must comply with the requirements outlined in both Article 338 and Article 334. The reference to Article 334 and Article 338.10 ensures that the installation of SE cable as a feeder adheres to the general requirements and limitations specified for cable installations. One of the key limitations to consider is the prohibition of exposed NM and SE cable in commercial occupancies, as stated in Article 334.10.3. This restriction is based on several factors, including the potential for physical damage, the increased risk of fire, and the higher density of occupants in commercial buildings. Exposed cables are more vulnerable to damage from impacts, abrasion, and other physical stresses, which can compromise their insulation and lead to electrical faults. In commercial buildings, where there is typically more activity and traffic than in residential settings, the risk of damage to exposed cables is significantly higher. Furthermore, exposed cables can contribute to the spread of fire. If a fire starts in a commercial building, exposed cables can quickly ignite and spread the flames to other areas. The NEC restriction on exposed NM and SE cable helps to minimize this risk by requiring that these cables be protected within raceways or concealed within building structures. In addition to physical damage and fire risk, the NEC also considers the higher density of occupants in commercial buildings when establishing electrical safety requirements. Commercial buildings typically house a larger number of people than residential buildings, which means that the potential consequences of an electrical hazard are greater. By restricting the use of exposed NM and SE cable, the NEC helps to reduce the risk of electrical shock and other hazards to occupants in commercial buildings. It is important to note that the prohibition of exposed NM and SE cable in commercial occupancies does not necessarily preclude their use altogether. These cables may still be permitted if they are installed in a raceway, such as conduit or tubing, which provides physical protection and conceals the wiring. Raceways are metal or plastic channels that are designed to enclose and protect electrical cables. They come in a variety of sizes and materials to suit different applications. When NM or SE cable is installed in a raceway, it is no longer considered exposed and is therefore permitted in commercial buildings. Additionally, NM and SE cable may be allowed in concealed locations such as within walls or above ceilings, where they are not readily accessible or visible. Concealed installations provide a degree of protection from physical damage and reduce the risk of fire. However, it is important to ensure that concealed cables are properly supported and protected from abrasion or other damage. The NEC provides specific requirements for the installation of cables in concealed locations, including restrictions on the types of cables that can be used and the methods of support and protection that are required. When interpreting the NEC, it is important to consider the definitions and terminology used throughout the code. The NEC defines exposed as applied to wiring methods as capable of being inadvertently touched or approached nearer than a safe distance by a person. This definition clarifies that exposed wiring is not only visible but also accessible to individuals. The NEC also defines occupancy as the purpose for which a building or part thereof is used or intended to be used. This definition is important because the NEC requirements vary depending on the type of occupancy. As mentioned earlier, the NEC distinguishes between residential, commercial, and industrial occupancies, each with its own set of electrical safety requirements. In addition to understanding the definitions and terminology used in the NEC, it is also important to consult with the authority having jurisdiction, or OJ, when interpreting code requirement. The AHA is the local agency or individual responsible for enforcing the NEC. The AHJ may have additional requirements or interpretations that are specific to the local area. Consulting with the AHJ can help to ensure that electrical installations comply with all applicable codes and regulations. Electrical professionals should also stay up to date with the latest edition of the NEC. The NEC is updated every 3 years to reflect changes in technology and industry best practices. Staying current with the latest edition of the NEC is essential for ensuring that electrical installations are safe and compliant. The NEC is a complex and comprehensive document, and it can be challenging to interpret its requirements correctly. However, by understanding the key principles and concepts outlined in the code, electrical professionals can help to ensure the safety and reliability of electrical systems in all types of buildings. The prohibition of exposed NM and SE cable in commercial occupancies is just one example of the many safety measures included in the NEC. By following these guidelines, electrical professionals can help to protect people and property from electrical hazards. Consider a scenario where a commercial building is being renovated and the electrical system is being upgraded. The original wiring in the building may have been installed before the current NEC requirements were in place. As part of the renovation, the electrical contractor is planning to install new feeders to supply power to various tenant spaces. The contractor is considering using SE cable for these feeders because it is readily available and relatively easy to install. However, the contractor is aware of the NEC restriction on exposed NM and SE cable in commercial occupancies. To comply with the code, the contractor has two options. Firstly, they can install the SE cable in a raceway, such as conduit or tubing, which would provide physical protection and conceal the wiring. Secondly, they can run the SE cable in concealed locations, such as within walls or above ceilings, where it would not be readily accessible or visible. In either case, the contractor must ensure that the SE cable is properly supported and protected from abrasion or other damage. The contractor should also consult with the AHJ to confirm that the proposed installation meets all applicable code requirements. By following these steps, the contractor can ensure that the new feeders are installed safely and in compliance with the NEC. Another scenario to consider is a commercial building that is being used for a purpose that was not originally intended. For example, a building that was originally designed as an office space may be converted into a retail store or a restaurant. In such cases, the electrical system may need to be upgraded to accommodate the new occupancy. As part of the upgrade, the electrical contractor may need to install additional circuits or modify the existing wiring. The contractor must ensure that all new wiring and modifications comply with the current NEC requirements. This includes the restriction on exposed NM and SE cable in commercial occupancies. If the contractor finds that there are existing exposed cables in the building, they should be replaced or protected in accordance with the NEC. The contractor should also consult with the AHJ to determine if any other electrical upgrades are necessary to ensure the safety of the new occupancy. In addition to the specific requirements for NM and SE cable, the NEC also includes general requirements for all types of electrical wiring. These requirements cover topics such as conductor sizing, overcurrent protection, grounding, and bonding. It is important for electrical professionals to be familiar with these general requirements and to apply them to all electrical installations. The NEC also includes specific requirements for different types of equipment, such as lighting fixtures, appliances, and motors. These requirements are designed to ensure that equipment is installed safely and operates properly. Electrical professionals should consult the NEC when installing or servicing any type of electrical equipment. The NEC is a valuable resource for electrical professionals, and it is essential for ensuring the safety and reliability of electrical systems. By understanding the code's requirements and following its guidelines, electrical professionals can help to protect people and property from electrical hazards. The information provided in this narration is for educational purposes only and should not be considered a substitute for professional advice. Electrical work should only be performed by qualified and licensed electricians. Always consult with a qualified electrical professional before undertaking any electrical project. By adhering to the NEC and seeking professional guidance, you can help to ensure the safety and reliability of electrical systems in all types of buildings. Consider that there are exceptions and specific conditions within the NEC that might influence the interpretation of these articles. These exceptions often depend on factors such as the specific type of commercial occupancy, the voltage levels involved, and the presence of other protective measures. It is crucial to thoroughly review the entire relevant section of the NEC and consult with local electrical inspectors or qualified engineers to ensure compliance with all applicable codes and regulations. Let's delve deeper into the factors influencing the application of Article 334.10.3 and Article 338.10.4. Firstly, the type of commercial occupancy significantly impacts the permissibility of exposed NM and SE cables. For instance, healthcare facilities and places of assembly have stringent requirements due to the increased risk to vulnerable populations. In such occupancies, exposed wiring might be completely prohibited, regardless of the cable type. Secondly, voltage levels play a crucial role. Higher voltage systems generally require more robust wiring methods and protection. While exposed low voltage wiring might be permissible in some commercial settings, higher voltage installations invariably necessitate enclosed systems like conduit. Thirdly, the presence of additional protective measures can influence the interpretation. If a building incorporates comprehensive fire suppression systems, advanced alarm systems, and regular safety inspections, the AHJ might grant some flexibility in wiring methods. However, such exceptions are typically granted on a case-by-case basis and require thorough documentation and justification. Furthermore, the specific design and layout of the commercial building are relevant. In areas with high traffic or potential for physical damage, exposed wiring is generally discouraged. Conversely, in controlled environments with limited access, the AHA might consider allowing exposed wiring if adequate protection is provided. The NEC also addresses the use of cable trays as a wiring method in commercial buildings. Cable trays are open support systems that hold and route cables. While cable trays can provide a convenient and cost-effective way to install wiring, they must be installed in accordance with the NEC requirements. One important consideration is the type of cables that are permitted to be installed in cable trays. The NEC specifies that certain types of cables, such as NM cable, are not permitted to be installed in cable trays in commercial buildings. This is because NM cable is not designed to be exposed to the elements or to physical damage. The NEC also includes requirements for the spacing and support of cables in cable trays. These requirements are designed to prevent the cables from overheating or being damaged. Additionally, the NEC requires that cable trays be properly grounded to prevent electrical shock hazards. Another important aspect of electrical installations in commercial buildings is grounding and bonding. Grounding is the process of connecting electrical equipment and systems to the earth. Bonding is the process of connecting different metal parts of an electrical system together. Grounding and bonding are essential for preventing electrical shock hazards and for ensuring the proper operation of electrical equipment. The NEC provides detailed requirements for grounding and bonding in commercial buildings. These requirements cover topics such as the size and type of grounding conductors, the methods of connecting grounding conductors, and the location of grounding electrodes. It is important for electrical professionals to carefully follow these requirements to ensure the safety of electrical systems. Overcurrent protection is another critical aspect of electrical safety in commercial buildings. Overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, are designed to protect electrical circuits from overloads and short circuits. Overloads occur when too much current is flowing through a circuit. Short circuits occur when there is an unintended connection between two conductors. Overcurrent protection devices will trip or blow when an overload or short circuit occurs, interrupting the flow of current and preventing damage to the electrical system. The NEC provides detailed requirements for overcurrent protection in commercial buildings. These requirements cover topics such as the size and type of overcurrent protection devices, the location of overcurrent protection devices, and the coordination of overcurrent protection devices. It is important for electrical professionals to carefully follow these requirements to ensure that electrical circuits are properly protected from overloads and short circuits. Electrical inspections are an important part of ensuring the safety of electrical installations in commercial buildings. Electrical inspections are typically conducted by local government agencies or by third-party inspection companies. Electrical inspectors review electrical plans and inspect electrical installations to ensure that they comply with the NEC and other applicable codes and regulations. Electrical inspections can help to identify potential hazards and to ensure that electrical systems are installed safely and correctly. It is important for electrical professionals to cooperate with electrical inspectors and to address any deficiencies that are identified during inspections. In addition to the NEC, there may be other codes and regulations that apply to electrical installations in commercial buildings. These codes and regulations may vary depending on the location of the building and the type of occupancy. It is important for electrical professionals to be aware of all applicable codes and regulations and to ensure that their work complies with these requirements. The NEC is a complex and comprehensive document, and it can be challenging to interpret its requirements correctly. However, by understanding the key principles and concepts outlined in the code, electrical professionals can help to ensure the safety and reliability of electrical systems in all types of buildings. The prohibition of exposed NM and SE cable in commercial occupancies is just one example of the many safety measures included in the NEC. By following these guidelines, electrical professionals can help to protect people and property from electrical hazards.